afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth.
I am Helen.
We are the creative minds behind Toad Hollow, where we dye yarn and make bags for creative people. And we are here for our weekly podcast. This week, we're doing something a little bit differently. Last week, we asked you whether you would like us to have a podcast where we just sat and knit and chatted. And overwhelming response is yes, please.
Also, in an opportune fashion, we didn't get anything done this week, so we have nothing to show.
Speak for yourself. Boom. Anyway,
we did not get much done.
We did not get a ton done, and we do have lots to chat about, so
Yeah.
it seemed perfect that today would be the Let's Knit and Chat.
Yeah.
So, let's start with...
Question? Oh, you're going to do your... Okay.
I finished my sweater. Ta-da! Look at this. Okay, it's not completely done. I still have to sew on my buttons and block it, but I am finished the knitting part. I did it...
It is cast off, so
Yep.
knitting-wise, it's finished.
I did it bolero style. I wanted it to hit right at my waist. I'm planning on wearing this with a high-waisted skirt. So the skirt will be right here. The skirt band will be right here. And then this will just brush the top of it. So I am finished with it. I chose to... I should probably stand up again. Sorry. Okay. I ran out of... This is the Northern Lights. I did a band of purple in between the two skeins so that I didn't have to alternate between skeins. The purple is for Randia. And I ran out of Northern Lights as I was doing the bottom ribbing. So I picked up with the Forsythia Randia and wound up with purple all around the bottom, purple for the button bands, and purple as the collar. Just the top of the collar. So it is bound off with a little bit of purple to match the stripe.
And that will all pop much more once you block it.
Right.
And straighten it and, steam it and put your buttons on.
Yeah.
But it's such a pretty accent.
It is. It worked out perfectly. I loved it.
And
I really love
unfortunately, these are all old club colors that aren't being repeated, but...
However, I have a skein of Forsythia Randia that is in the hank form, and I have a skein of Northern Lights that is in a cake form that I will list both of them, and they are up for grabs because I am now done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I am putting out a challenge to you guys.
Okay, first off, it's the JC sweater by Isabel Kramer.
Okay, I was getting to that. Okay, putting out a challenge to you guys. This is not for the people who have already knit 3 sweaters and are done. This is for those of you who are like me, who have sweaters on the needles. This is my oldest one. It's the JC sweater by Isabel Kramer. I started it about 2 years ago, and I am now finished. I did not take it as long as she did. I cut it off and did it a little bit shorter. I also changed a little bit by, when I picked it up again, I put in a band of garter. So that rather than doing straight stockinette down, right about here, I did a band of garter, and then I went into the binding, or into the ribbing. So, for those of you that are like me, that have several sweaters on the needles, this is my challenge. I am done this. I am going to finish off my Brunswick tee next. That's the next one that I'm going to do. I just have to pick up the stitches and get it done. So that's my next one. And after that, I'm going to finish my novelling. And my challenge to you is join me in this. Let's finish these things. Get them off the needles. All right?
All right.
There you go. That's my challenge. And for those of you that are prolific sweater knitters and have already finished several of them, bravo to you. I love you guys. But this is the kick in the butt for the ones that aren't.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Like us, because we both have sweaters on the needles.
Yeah.
All right. That's my big thing.
Okay. Excellent.
I finished my sweater. All right. Okay, on to questions and comments, because we had a whole bunch of those. All right, here we go. Tina Kircher says that for Cinderella's shoe, back when she used to do silk embroidery, she bought filament thread to hold as a single thread of with a DMC. And she thought that it would be, the filament might be really cool to do around the outside of the shoe.
Yeah.
So Helen finished Cinderella. However, we will definitely keep that in mind for the next time we need to outline something, because that is very cool. Martha Smith says that on the she said, as a counter to those who didn't want to do cross stitch after watching our video, she went on Etsy and bought 4 charts. Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, we're here to enable.
So I can't wait to see what you're working on. Please come over to Crafting with the Toads on Facebook and show us what you got, because chances are fairly good we may join you.
Yeah.
Okay. LaRue Stackhouse says, have we ever considered doing Vogue Knitting Live?
We have. It is just not cost effective.
Right.
It is an extraordinarily expensive show, and not just, I mean, the fees are cost prohibitive, but also then when you loading your booth and everything, you're getting involved with New York unions and fees there, and we're too small. We would not be able to make money doing it.
So not yet. When we get to Vogue Knitting Live, that means big time. Okay. Kim Carr said she got so excited when we said we were going to do a show in South Carolina, where she lives, and then we said Charlotte, which is North Carolina, so she's willing to drive up and see us. But okay, Kim, it's not actually Charlotte, South Carolina.
The show itself is being held at the River Place in Fort Mill, South Carolina. So that's where the event is. So.
We do not know South Carolina at all.
Right.
So I have no idea where this is. I think it's just over the border.
North South Carolina. It seems like it's right there on the border of North Carolina, just from a quick map quest. It's a 12.5-hour drive. So that's a lie.
That's what we need to know.
So we have been accepted, and we just have to pay our fees, and
we will be there.
So.
And that is August 14th and 15th, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mambo Knits and Denise Jeffries both pointed out that in the original Balm book, Dorothy's shoes were silver.
When I was saying it, I thought, it's because it's the book, not the movie. However.
So they said Mambo Knits says Technicolor was new and the ruby would show up better on the yellow brick road. That's very interesting. Okay, Wendy Yount says, since we live to do trunk shows, how about packing up the dogs and driving to South Dakota? Okay. So, I'm going to do a quick map thing. And let's see.
It's probably closer than we think, because, what was it, Iowa?
All right, South Dakota.
It's not closer than we think,
Okay.
It takes so long to get there that the map can't calculate it.
23 hours and 33 minutes. Okay, that's a little bit long.
No problem.
That's a little bit longer than...
However, if you can guarantee me a really good trunk show that will pay for me to drive back and forth, I've never been to South Dakota.
I haven't either, and I kind of like to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. I mean...
It's not outside the realm of possibility. However, it's kind of close to the edge of not possible.
The vista is beautiful.
Yeah.
So...
Okay.
I mean, ideally, what we would love to do at some point when we have, time and money, no object, is plan trunk shows and just drive.
Yeah.
But
not yet. We're working there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Denise Jeffries also says that she went to a spot on Etsy 2x2 stitch art. That's number 2x number 2 stitch art, and she was having a 50% off winter sale, which may still be going. And she wound up buying almost all the samplers. She was wondering what makes a sampler.
So we looked this up.
Yeah.
So The definition of a sampler, there are two definitions. One is a piece of embroidery worked in various stitches as a specimen of skill, typically containing the alphabet and some mottos, which is what everybody kind of, I think, generally thinks of when they think sampler.
Right.
But the other is a representative collection or example of something. So in this article that I was reading, they say that all cross-stitch patterns are samplers because they are a collection of stitches.
Is that you?
Excuse me.
It's getting close to lunch, obviously.
So cross-stitch patterns, according to this, are all of them are samplers. However, the 19th century samplers, which is what everybody thinks of, were the ones with the alphabet. And the way they came about was it was a forced activity that young ladies in waiting had to complete to show they were ready for marriage.
Okay.
And now I don't want to cross stitch anymore.
Yes, you do, because that wasn't cross stitching, that was embroidery, and that's why we don't embroider.
It was cross stitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind. All right.
Also embroidery, but
Yeah.
and the first cross stitch sampler that they have on record, surviving sampler, is from 1598, and they actually have a picture. Let's see if I can get this. So I thought that was pretty cool.
The big thing was that it's a mixture of motifs and letters and stitches and that sort of thing, and it's showing that you can do a wide band or a wide broad range of different types of stitches in embroidery or pictures, motifs, that kind of thing in cross stitch. Okay. Also, Denise wants to know, she does not use Facebook as a personal choice. Is there anywhere else where they can show their crafting in another way?
We really don't. I mean, Ravelry, you could go on, but we don't generally use Ravelry that much. We try to, but we just, we don't.
So we will look into seeing if there's something that we can do. We're doing our book club over on our blog, so maybe we could do it as part of a blog, part of the website. See if there's a page that we can add.
I don't know whether you can.
Other people can upload.
And I mean, on our website, you can't do that because you can't give people access, and I don't want to give people access to our website. I love you all, true. But I don't.
Okay. Okay. So
we will keep it in mind and try and find something else. And I do know that there are people out there who don't use Facebook, and so it's a difficult thing.
I know it's totally understandable. Okay, so we'll keep you informed on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Jessica Kelly wanted to know what shawl was I wearing. It was the Netflix and Chill, and I left her.
Boho Chic.
Yeah, and that just was a very cool shawl. I love that one. Jeannie Ainsworth says, "Do you use silk ribbon?"
I don't know what that means, so no.
I don't, and I'm gonna have to go look that up now,
yeah,
because I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Cassandra Casto wanted to know who did your Cinderella cross stitch. The Cinderella was...
That was a little stitcher. I think I may have responded to you.
You did respond to her.
Given you the link to it. So.
Yes. So Helen gave her the link, but it's also linked in the show notes on our blog. But it is The Little Stitcher on Etsy. She has tons of really, really, really cool cross-stitch patterns.
Yes.
Okay. Debbie Handy said, Charlotte, South Carolina. Do you mean Charlotte, North Carolina? Fingers crossed it's North Carolina. Okay. So, Debbie, we have just answered that. It is not North Carolina. It's South Carolina. However, we are going to be in... Where is Sav?
It's near...
Asheville. It's
right
outside.
It's right across the street from the Asheville airport.
Yeah, it's right by the Asheville airport in North Carolina. That is the next to last weekend or last weekend in October. Yeah. And we will be there for South. It's the Southern
next
Animal...
to last weekend. Fiber Fair.
Yeah.
Southern Animal Fiber Fair.
And So we're a part of that this year.
Yeah.
We were there last year. We had a ball, so we will be back for that. So if you can come for that, we'd love to have you come and see us then. Otherwise, in August, as we said, I'm pretty sure it's right near the border of North Carolina, so you can just cross over and come see us. Okay, that's it for questions. So
We did have lots of comments on we put up a how we knit video this week. So we did have lots of questions and comments about could we slow some of them down, so that will come. Yes, we will do it a little bit slower. So especially the pearl, the Norwegian pearl. And one of the main questions people wanted were asking, which I can answer, is do I knit faster now that I've switched from the throwing to the Norwegian style knitting? And knitting, yes, I do. I knit much faster. So.
Okay. All right. I'm going to step off camera for 1 second and take off my sweater because this is very warm.
Okay.
Very warm.
Okay, so we did a live video this morning announcing our new Toad's Tale, which is Mrs. White's Tea Party. So there is brand new yarn available on the site, and we will not go through it all again since most of you either joined us on the live or will probably watch it. But this gorgeousness is Mrs. White's Tea Party. There's mini skits to go with it, mini skein kits to go with it too. So
Mini skeins.
we have a certain amount that are ready to ship, but most of them will ship within like the next week or two. So just wanted to say that.
I'm going to have a very busy dye day.
Yes. So we will get to the knitting and chatting, but I just wanted to quickly, I've been knitting on my Knitting at the Library cowl, and I finished up the cook section and I went into the next section, which was the first mate, and I had just started it last week when we were podcasting, and on Saturday I got a little more done and I realized, oops, oh,
Look at that.
that I don't want the first mate and the cook next to each other because they really kind of blend together. There's not the definite delineation that you have on the other colors. So what I need to do, and I fought myself, I knit, and I should have stopped knitting while I thought about it because I knew I was going to come back to the end result that I did. But no, I knit like 5 more rows. Well, I tried to convince myself that, no, you really don't want to take it out. So I'm going to have to take all that out, get it back on the needles, and then I will add in between the cook and the first mate, the Droid Pirate Henry, so that I get the...
That is going to
difference.
offset
Yeah.
both of them so beautifully.
So that is my annoying tale of woe. I was going to do it on camera, but I said to Mary Beth, we don't have enough bleeping to cover it. So instead, I have picked up, because Mary Beth challenged us all to finish our sweaters.
You just heard that challenge. You had picked this up before.
I picked this up because I want it, and it seems like we're never getting winter, so before it gets warm, I need to have the sweater done so I can wear it at least once. So I have picked up my Carbeth again, and I am doing this out of just random skeins of DK that we have. So I have Les Rêves is the bottom, going into Hanging the Stars, and what I have done because the pattern calls for you to hold DK double to get a bulky weight. So when I'm changing colors, I do several rows where I'm holding one strand of the color I'm finishing and one strand of the color that I'm going into to marl them.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
That looks so cool.
So then I was finishing up with Hanging the Stars, so I'm going into Christmas at Hogwarts. So I did the marling, and then I hit the point where my sleeves go. So I'm not sure how this is going to all turn out, whether this marling will lead into yet another color, because my sleeves are all going to be in Christmas at Hogwarts. But we shall see. So now according to the pattern, I knit my sleeves. So that is what I am doing.
Now, are you knitting both of them at the same time, or are you going to knit one, finish it, and then...
Okay. So I was going to knit them 2 at a time on the same set of needles like I do my socks. I do not have a 10.5 size, which is the needle that I'm using, with a long enough cord to do that. I did have 2 10.5s that were shorter, so I was going to knit them concurrently. But here's my dilemma. My Christmas at Hogwarts are very definitely different versions or different dye baths. These are the 2 skeins I have. They are very similar, yet different. So what I'm doing is instead of pulling a strand from the outside and then the inside of the ball, I am pulling a strand from each.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
So that I blend them together.
That's a great idea.
And so what I was going to do was I was going to do one sleeve from the outside strands and one sleeve from the inside strands.
That's a lot of yarn strands.
Too much yarn management for this tired little brain. So I'm doing my sleeves one at a time, and we shall see where the yarn ends up. I may have to end up dyeing more Christmas at Hogwarts to finish my second sleeve. I don't know. We shall see.
Can't remember.
Because I want my sleeves to be the same color.
Right.
And Christmas at Hogwarts is in the vault. So we don't have any other skeins, and it's not something we're dyeing right now. But I am not, don't put the cart before the horse. Let me get this sleeve done and we'll see where I am. So that is what I'm going to be knitting on, because it's straight knitting with every so often an increased stitch.
Excellent. All right. I am winding a mini right now. I am going to be working on my blanket, my mini skein blanket, and I am almost to the point of needing a new mini. So I am doing that right now while you were chatting.
Okay.
Okay, minis.
I figured.
Okay. All right. So.
So I'm doing this magic loop.
Shall we talk about our week?
We certainly should.
I mean, it's been a week. It really has been a week. Let's see. We started off by doing Opera Saturday. We're not originally planning to do Opera Saturday, but sister number 3 got sick, so we picked up the opera. So we went to New York with my mom and dropped her off. It wasn't a terribly long opera.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. So what we did was we were planning to go to Shakespeare & Co., and I, being the expert navigator that I am, sent us up Columbus Avenue instead of Broadway. And when we figured out that we were wrong, we were just
easily fixed.
I mean, it's a block down. We literally were in
Just
the middle of the
one block
block.
over.
If we could walk through the buildings, we would have walked right into Shakespeare & Co. But we noticed that a man standing on the corner had one of those great big signs that said that Papyrus was closing. And Papyrus, if you don't know, is a papery store.
Yeah.
It's got cards and notepads and things like that. So we decided to check them out to see what kind of sales they were having. And we found some beautiful recipe cards by Rifle Paper. Absolutely gorgeous. We do not keep our recipes on cards for cooking. However, we do keep our recipes for yarn on paper. And we've been meaning to put them onto recipe cards, laminate them, and have them in a box so that rather than flipping through a notebook trying to find them, we have the ones that we know are tried and true and we're keeping in one spot so that we could have all the Dread Pirate Henrys together, and you just pull out the card. It's laminated. If it gets stuff on it, it doesn't matter. And then it goes right back into the recipe box. So we got a couple of sets of cards for that.
Got some note cards.
We got some beautiful note cards with animals on them because, of course, what else did we get? Because it was a hefty price. Was that it?
Yeah, I don't
That
think
might
there was
have been
much
it.
else. Yeah.
Okay. And then we walked down to Shakespeare & Co. and found a couple of books there that we have been wanting to read. So we picked up 3 books, some fun books that we were going to get. But what they did was they have Blind Date with a Book, which is a book wrapped in brown paper. And they've got a sticker on the front that said that if you liked such and such and such and such and such and such, pick up this book because you might like this.
Yes.
So we each picked one and we thought we'll open them on the podcast.
And we're like, oh, it's a business expense.
Yeah.
Do it on the podcast.
We'll open them on the podcast and see what we got because we have no idea. I wouldn't even look at the receipt because I was afraid that it might have shown what the titles were. So we have no idea. So shall we open them?
Sure. That
Okay.
was yours.
All right.
Are you done?
I am just finished. So now this is going to be the next color that's going into my blanket. It's so pretty. All right. Mine says, if you like Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, A Curious Beginning by Deanna Rayburn, or The Girl Waits with Gun by Amy Stewart, you should get this book. I like Jane Eyre. I have not heard of the other two, so I'm not getting rid of the sticker because I want to go in and look for those.
Okay, don't open yours yet. We'll open them together.
Oh, I thought we'd do it one at a time so that we could see.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. My book is
Anticipation. So exciting.
Jane Steele, a novel by Lindsay Fay. Okay, so. Reader, I murdered him. So begins Lindsay Fay's Jane Steele. A reimagining of Jane Eyre as a gutsy, heroic serial killer. Oh my god, this sounds so good. A sensitive orphan, Jane Steele suffers first at the hands of her spiteful aunt and predatory cousin, then at a grim school where she fights for her very life, until she escapes to London, leaving the corpses of her tormentors behind her. After years of hiding from the law while penning macabre last confessions of the recently hanged, Jane thrills when she discovers that her aunt has died and her childhood home has a new master, Mr. Charles Thornfield, an army doctor returned from the sick wars, who seeks a governess for the 9-year-old ward in his care. Burning to know whether she is in fact the rightful heir, Jane takes the position incognita and meets the marvelously strange new residents at Highgate House. As Jane falls in love with the gruffly tragic Mr. Thornfield, she faces a terrible dilemma. Can she possess him body, soul, and secrets without revealing her own murderous past? This sounds so good. Okay, that's a win. That's
Okay.
definitely a win.
So mine says, if you like The Fair Fight by Anna Freeman, Crimson Petal and the White by Michelle Faber, or The 13th Tale by Diane
Setterfield.
Sutterfield. Okay. We love The 13th Tale by Diane Sutterfield. And again, I don't know the other two. So, I will take that off. And
Now I'm really excited because mine was so good.
so mine is Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, best-selling author of The Little Stranger and Tipping the Velvet.
I do not know her.
No, she sounds familiar, but this is London, 1862. Sue Trinder, orphaned at birth, grows up among petty thieves, fingersmiths. The petty thieves are fingersmiths. Under the rough but loving care of Mrs. Suxby and her family. One day, Gentleman, an elegant con man, arrives with a proposition for Sue. If she works as a maid to Maud Lily, a gentlewoman, and aged gentleman in her seduction, they will all share in Maud's vast inheritance. With dreams of repaying her adopted family, Sue agrees to the plan. Once in, however, Sue begins to pity Maud and care for her in unexpected ways. But nothing is as it seems in this Dickensian novel of thrills and reversals.
Wow.
Oliver Twist with a twist. Waters spins an absorbing tale that withholds as much as it discloses.
Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Definitely with the orphans this week.
Oh, yeah, and the timepieces, but
That is cool.
very cool.
All right. I'm excited about these.
Yeah, that was
very
fun.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to have to read these and let you know how they are.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll keep my
It has tape on it, so be careful.
recommendations.
All right, so we were planning to eat lunch at the cafe at Shakespeare & Co., but it turned out
It was really crowded.
it was very crowded that day. So we went down to Alice Tully Hall, which is the next block over from Lincoln Center, and had lunch there and I had a burger. That was very good.
Sorry about that.
Pick up where we were. Oh, so anyway, we had lunch there and got some knitting done. And one of the reasons I haven't gotten a ton of crafting done is because I've been working diligently to try and finish my sweater. I was bound and determined to be done it so that I could wear it today. So that's kind of what I was working on there. And
Yeah.
then afterwards, every day afterwards.
I was working on a cowl that I'm knitting in March's fairy tale yarn, so I can't show it.
Oh, yes. I have my hat that I've started in March's yarn that I think we have 2 more weeks and then we get to show them.
Yeah.
Which is good because I don't even have a full brim yet. I have to finish that up. So that was Opera Saturday. And then Sunday was the Oscars. Do you guys watch the Oscars?
Yeah.
We love to,
We hadn't seen any of the movies,
no.
so.
We were very up on that. When we got together with our friends for trivia on Tuesday, one of them, Claire was
Claire's all
down.
set to sit down and discuss movies with us, and she's like, "So did you watch the Oscars?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "All set to talk about the movies, but we haven't seen any of the movies."
We thought we were discussing
she was
the Oscars.
so dejected. Really wanted to talk about Parasite with us.
We have to.
And Little Women. I mean, she was totally affronted that Mary Beth and I have not seen Little Women yet.
We have
which
to
I
see
can
it.
understand, but
We never go out to the movies.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but we don't. We just wait till they come to us, so that we haven't been able to talk about any of those. But we
Yeah.
love watching the people arrive. I love seeing how they're dressed and see how they what they're talking about, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really cool. I didn't like E! Entertainment's coverage of the
because they did.
red carpet.
They focused a lot more on the actual people on the carpet than how funny they think they are, which I have found with like NBC's and whoever major network is covering it. That usually it's just like they're just so enamored with themselves. It's just like, okay, I really want to see the dresses. Don't really care. I just want to see who's there and see the dresses.
Right.
I
did like Ellen sent Jerry from Cheer
Okay.
to Jerry is one of the cheerleaders from the Navarro squad from the Netflix docuseries called Cheer, and if you've seen the show, everybody knows Jerry. But they said that one of the nicest things was how excited all the celebrities were to meet Jerry, almost as much as Jerry was to meet them, because everybody had seen Cheer, so they knew of him, and they just were so excited to come over and talk to him, which made his day completely. And I think that's so nice. But even though we haven't seen the movies, we're movie buffs. We love film, so it's always fun to watch the clips and see who wins and see the acceptance speeches.
See how bad the telecast is.
This year was confusing.
It was odd.
Yeah, it was really kind of confusing.
And it was kind of Oscars telecast patting itself on the back for pointing out how poorly representative the categories were. And instead of doing that on the telecast, why don't you just nominate the right people?
Right.
I mean, I don't get it.
I do know that for each of the categories, like for directors, the directors are the ones that nominate the top ones, and then everybody votes on the top 5
You would
to see who wins, type of thing.
think then that they were a little more
I don't know.
modern in accepting that, you know,
There are people other
than
than men.
you know, white men who direct movies these
Right.
days. So,
However,
however, they did give it to a South Korean, so there's that.
I will say that every single acceptance speech from the director of Parasite, I know his first name is Bong, but I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I truly enjoyed every single acceptance speech from him. So
Yes.
I
From now on, I will end every statement with, and now I will drink till morning.
till next morning. I loved it. I thought it was so much fun.
I found him extremely endearing. I did not have a tremendous amount of interest in Parasite until having watched the Oscars and him. So now we will go find it.
Also, it has gotten rave reviews. We love Pop Culture Happy Hour on NPR. That's one of our podcasts that we listen to every week, and they've been raving about it for weeks.
Yeah, they were all thrilled that
And-
Parasite had won. So
Linda Holmes even predicted that it would win Best Picture, even though it was in a foreign language. So it's just, we're going to have to. It's been on our radar for quite a while, and definitely Little Women. I've wanted to see that for quite a while.
yeah, the others I don't think I'm really terribly. I have no interest in the Joker. Claire did say we should watch A Marriage Story. I didn't have much interest in A Marriage Story, but she said it's just so well done and so realistic as far as what a real marriage is.
Right.
So that we should watch that one.
Okay.
So, The Irishman.
Nope. Have no desire to see that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is not my type of movie.
No.
I'm trying to think what
Yeah.
else is up.
Tarantina is not my director of choice.
Right. There's Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit I'm slightly interested in because I am very, very taken with Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I find Taika Waititi very funny.
So that one I might
Yeah.
watch.
I'm trying to think what else was up. Don't even remember.
Well, it was Parasite, Little Women,
Right.
The Irishman,
Okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Marriage Story. Jojo Rabbit. 1917
Oh, right, yeah,
and
big
Ford v Ferrari.
Okay.
Those were the other two. Yeah.
one. Fairly big ones.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, no, it was not.
Not my favorite telecast.
It was a lot of things that I was not that as interested in. So I did like the acceptance speeches. I thought most of them were very interesting. And
Yeah, I mean,
it was just an odd
yeah.
an odd production. So hey, sometimes I come across I finish them and I'm just so exhilarated by what's happened on screen, and sometimes I'm just shaking my head.
The dresses were all on point. There weren't too many where it was just like, what were you thinking? I mean, some of them were like, well, that's not my taste, but it's a
Right.
gorgeous dress, and you know, you look phenomenal in it.
It fits you beautifully.
But most of them, I was just like, oh, look at that dress.
I did see big thing about Jane Fonda reusing her dress. She has vowed that she will not be buying any new clothing.
Oh, really?
So she
Okay.
wore a dress from several years ago,
Oh, cool.
which looked phenomenal on her then and looks
Yeah.
phenomenal on her now. So Jane Fonda is what we should aspire to.
We should all get out her workout tapes
I
from
know.
the 80s.
Do you guys remember the workout tapes from the 80s? Oh my God. My mother would do them every single day. Memories. Memories. Okay.
Monday was just a work day.
Yes, Monday was working. We did work on Monday. And Monday was lots of packing, which is always very nice.
Yes. We were catching up on orders because we dyed a lot of back ordered stuff on Friday, so it was ready to go out Monday. Also, very sadly, we have not yet seen our younger brother for Christmas. He usually comes up from Virginia, not on Christmas Day because they do their thing down there. But he'll come up from Virginia the week after Christmas sometime, and we kind of do a second Christmas with his boys, who are our nephews.
Since
obviously. He has the next generation.
all of them. There's 6 of us. You would think that somebody else might
would
want to
appropriate,
procreate, but no. He's the only one that has decided to carry on the Graham line.
And he's doing it very well because he's got all boys.
And
But,
they're beautiful.
and they all look like Grahams.
Yes.
But, so we hadn't seen him because he was supposed to come, and then he is just, they've got the bug in their house, and it just goes from one to the next, and it's just a revolving circle of people being sick in that house.
Yeah, they're getting bronchitis left and
Yeah.
right. He
So-
had it. Then Declan, the baby
had it.
bronchiolitis.
Yeah.
Which is what happens with under 2s, and he was really sick. And oh my God,
The
It's
boys that are in
so
school.
sad
Oh my God.
when a baby like that, they get the dark circles
Yeah.
under their eyes, and they just
crumple.
so sad. But he started getting better, and Larry was getting better, and then Bridget got it.
Yeah, and
Bridget now has bronchitis.
Bridget runs that family.
Yeah.
So she has bronchitis. Dex is sick again. So we don't know when we're going to see them. One of the big things we had to do on Monday was we had to pack up all of their Christmas presents and get them down there because, those boys are going to grow out of their Christmas presents.
Right.
So
Um,
plus we made them quilts.
Also, I mean, one of the Christmas presents was a Christmas
Table runner for
table
Bridget.
runner for Bridget, which totally out of season now. But
She'll have it for next year.
um,
But-
yeah, so that was a big thing. We got that out.
It was a big 15-pounder that had to be
Oh my goodness, that
taken
box
to
was so
UPS.
big. We tend to go a little bit overboard on the boys.
But more than anything, we gave Declan because he's going to turn 1 next month, very soon.
He's just on the verge of walking.
Walking. So we have a little walking duck that we got, which was tall. It's like 2 feet tall, so you had to find a box that would fit that. So anyway,
However, since we get fabric bolts and things like that in the mail,
and people, break our yarn dryers, and we have to get new ones, since that's the box I use.
shut up. Okay, just shut up. It was served its time, lived out its life, and now it's gone to pasture. It's gone to the farm.
Put it out. And then on Tuesday, you can tell Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday we really covered in the live video where we
helped a neighbor on the island find their lost dog.
right.
Or we tried to help. They didn't find it until yesterday. But Tuesday was the day we're supposed to be making cross-stitch bags. And we just decided, as we said previously, that if it were Spike or Drew, we would want all the help we could get.
Right.
So we did that.
Certain things take
Yeah.
precedence.
And then Wednesday, this was something we had set up weeks ago. We had a date with our sister, Amanda, to meet her out in Lancaster, which she lives out near Lancaster, Pennsylvania. She found a fabric outlet, Zink's fabric outlet, and she thought we would have fun. I don't know why. She doesn't know us at all.
Don't like fabric. Fabric is bad.
That we would have fun going through it. So we met her out there yesterday. And it was a nice drive out.
Yes, it was. It really was.
So-
It was about 2.5 hours, which wasn't too bad. And
Oh,
Right. So
First off, no good deed goes unpunished. While out looking for the dog, we picked up a spike in our tire, so that when we went to trivia on Tuesday, we got in the car to drive up to trivia, and the air pressure light was on for our tires. So we stopped at Wawa, and what was it, 8?
yeah, we're supposed to be at a 33 RPI
Pressure.
or something like that, and it was at 8.
So we filled it up.
For those of you that are not part of the East Coast, Wawa is a line of convenience stores that a lot of them have gas stations,
Right.
and they have free air dispensers.
The key is they have free air dispensers. So we filled up the tire, went to trivia, got back in the car after trivia, and the air pressure light was on again. So now we realized that we probably have something in the tire. So we filled it up in Keyport. And then we came out yesterday morning to go meet up with Amanda, and the tire was just about flat.
Yeah, we called the dealer and said, if possible, can we come in and just have you plug the tire? We're pretty sure we picked up a nail. And they said, sure, come in. We set a time, and then and they fixed it in about 15 minutes.
Did he show you what was in it?
No.
Because by the time we were filling it at the towing station, I could hear the air escaping.
Yeah.
I kind of expected us to get to Kia and have it be flat again. It was not. It was not even close to it. But
So yes, it got fixed. It was all good. It wasn't terribly expensive to fix. It was wonderful. So we got on our way and headed out to Pennsylvania and had a lovely time driving out, because as Helen said, the scenery was gorgeous.
Lancaster is gorgeous. It really is.
Once you get off the main highway in Philly, it's just driving through those hills and everything. It's
and the farm
really
country
beautiful.
Just
And
you're driving through Amish country, so you have just yesterday was laundry day because all the laundry's out on the line, hanging out. So it's just good. It's cool.
It's nice. It's really nice, and it's quiet, and it's pretty, and it was a beautiful drive.
Yeah,
And we managed to find a little bit of fabric there,
just a little.
just a little bit. We can't show any of it yet because we want to have the bags made before we show.
Yeah, because we have an idea.
We have this idea. I was showing Helen the fabric. I'm like, can you imagine seeing this on a grid wall where you just had one going down like in a design type of thing? It's going to be really pretty. So we're very excited about that. And then we had lunch with Amanda. She took us to Wimpy's and D.
It's a diner.
Out by Lancaster.
It's really good food.
Yeah, well, it's
it's diner food, but
it's 50s style diner.
yeah.
And I said, okay, because we sat down and she was bringing over the menus, and I'm like, oh, well, if it's a 50s style diner, you got to have a burger, right?
Yeah.
Because they had the burgers. And then I looked in and they had a patty melt. I'm like, oh, I love patty melts.
When they're done right, yeah.
This one was done right.
I was just gonna get a bacon cheeseburger, and thank God Mary Beth ordered first because she's like, I'm gonna get a patty melt. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have one of those too.
And Amanda is like, well, I guess I'll have the Texas burger because we don't want them all be the same. Which is kind of silly because she could have had the patty melt too. It was very, very good.
Yeah.
And good French fries. Really good French fries. So if you are in the Lancaster area and you want to go have some really good burgers,
Greasy Spoon.
Wimpy and D. That's the name of it. Really good. Very, very, very good.
And Amanda says their milkshakes are delicious and their desserts are really good too. We just didn't partake.
No.
We still had a 2.5 hour drive, and we didn't need sugar in the system to
I was gonna
put
say,
us to
if
sleep.
you give me a milkshake, I'll be asleep, and I was the driver, so that's not good. So that was fun. That was really fun.
It was a nice divergence from the normal day.
Yeah. It's been a busy week because we did trivia Tuesday night too. Trivia was fun. We had such a good time.
We did.
We did not win this week. We came in 4th. We were tied for 4th place.
4th is generally where 4th, 5th, 6th
Yeah.
is generally our comfort zone. We win occasionally, but however, in our 4th place finish, we scored more points than we did in our winning week.
Right.
So,
He had some good questions too.
yeah.
One of the questions was the third round sometimes has a theme to it. And the first question was what city in Connecticut is known as the insurance capital of the world? And having driven through this city, it was one of the stops for the bus when we were going back and forth to Smith. You always change the bus at Hartford. So we knew Hartford.
Yeah.
And then we quickly caught on that it was all about Valentine's Day because Friday being Valentine's Day. So that one of the questions was what Major League player holds the record for the most number of singles and most number of games played.
And hits.
And hits and everything, and which is Pete Rose.
So you have Rose for Valentine's Day.
Right. What was the name of the diamond necklace that they
From Titanic.
From Titanic, and
Claire was the one who got it. She said the Star of the Ocean, and we're like, okay, could it possibly be the Heart of the Ocean?
Heart of the Sea. We said it was the Heart of the Sea.
Okay.
We did the Heart of the Sea.
Okay.
We were telling Amanda this, and she's like, "Le Coeur de la Mer." Okay, could not have pulled that up, but okay.
Somebody's watched Titanic a little bit more than I have.
So that we just need Amanda on our team. You know,
Yeah.
Amanda, if you're not doing anything Tuesday night, come join us for trivia. We'll do a phone a friend.
The commute is no problem.
Right. But yeah, so that was one of them. And then the last question was 6 words, a 6-word answer. What was one of the first number 1 hits for hairband Bon Jovi? So we, I had
somebody
shot through the heart going through my head.
Heather said shot through the heart, and we're like, oh yeah, no, wait.
That's only 4.
3.
And
Yeah.
so it's You Give Love a Bad Name.
Yeah.
For anybody who is not as big a Bon Jovi fan as we are, we knew that one. We definitely got that one right. So it was fun. It was really fun. And even though we did not win, we still had a really, really good time.
Yeah.
And the people that came in first place had us beat by like 80 points. So
yeah, it wasn't close.
there was a chance. We were not winning this week at all. So yeah. So that has been our week so far.
And now we have to go wash the dogs, because as we stated earlier,
Yeah, we got a couple of stink bombs.
Drew has rolled in something
Yeah.
unpleasant.
So, as Helen said, Drew comes and sits next to you, and you're like, oh, Drew's here.
She puts her head in your lap, and you feel so bad because you're like, I really don't want to touch you. You smell so bad.
So we have a car wash over on the mainland, and they have a bay that is set aside for washing dogs. And the really nice thing is it's set to your level, so the dogs go into a bath that's at about waist level, waist high, and makes it very easy to clean them very quickly. And so we will go do that.
Yeah.
Take care of the stink bombs. And then keep them from going outside for a little bit, because inevitably the first thing they do is roll in the dirt. All right.
Anyway, so we are going to attach at the end our little video of the toad's tail, which will tell the story and show you the yarn up close. And we will be back next week with hopefully lots of progress.
Right, on our crafts and things, because
Yeah, we first we have to get the gnome bags finished up and get those out for the pre-orders.
right.
So those will be coming out. If we owe you yarn, that is being dyed tomorrow.
Yep.
So that'll be going out. Cross-stitch bags. The cursed cross-stitch bags.
Keep your fingers crossed that the cross-stitch bags actually come about. Oh, we started watching The Magicians. So we both started the book by Lev Grossman.
I've read the whole book.
Did you read it?
Yeah. It will end up on one of my... I hated that book.
I don't know if I finished it or not. I know I started it. And I got enough into it that I knew about Fillory, but I don't know if I finished it or not.
It's very, to me, it was very similar to A Secret History, in that they're pretentious, hateful college age people. Pretentious, just I did not like any of the characters at all.
No, I didn't either.
But our friend Heather, who we do trivia with, was like, no, watch the TV series, it's totally different.
Yeah.
You're really going to get sucked in. And we blew through 3 last night. So.
Right, yeah, no, I will admit that we're kind of getting sucked in. I'm still kind of confused about several different things. Hoping that it's all going to work its way through. But so far, I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
I really am enjoying it. So it's very good for knitting and...
It's a bingey
yeah.
show. It's one of those where it's like, no, turn off the TV.
Yeah.
You have to go to bed now.
Right.
So here's my sleeve so far.
Okay.
I did a couple increases, so moving along. See, it's getting wider.
I have finished up the peach, and I have started, you can see I've just started adding the pink. That's going to be coming in next. So that is what I am doing. And I have wound my mini that I needed to do. That's what I was doing at the beginning, so I got that done. So, yeah.
Okay.
We are good. All right, so everybody have a wonderful week. We will see you next week. We have a book video coming out on Wednesday that is recommendations.
Yeah, we've each done a couple recommendations, and then we're also going to try and do a video, we will do a video for Tuesday that's going to be showing how each of us, our preferred cast-on method. So.
Okay. So that is what is in the works for next week. And then next Thursday, we will be back with another live update at 11 a.m. and a regular scheduled podcast, hopefully. Knock wood. Everything working. We will be back.
Yeah, so go forth and create, everybody.
Have a wonderful week. Make something beautiful.